Where's Christina? We're expecting her to see her.
It's been really hard.
You see yourself spending the rest of your life with him?
Yeah, I do really like him.
Last night we saw the second episode of Homestays Week and it was giving drama, so let's talk about it.
And then I think that's when I've started backtracking, like removing myself from the intensity of it all.
Kieran's never experienced anything like it. Kieran got some cold sores and then it was almost he was using the cold sores as an excuse to not, you know, to not want to be intimate with me.
As I predicted, we saw Kieran and Christina choose to stay apart for Homestays Week. I think that that was probably the right decision given the emotion that's sitting around their relationship at the minute, but it does make me wonder how they're going to bounce back from that. Like if you've been given the opportunity in the experiment to see how your lives would work together, haven't done that, understandably so, where do you go from here? I do think that we do see the end to Kieran and Christina's relationship in this week. I think at the commitment ceremony, they will probably decide to leave, but I think they'll part amicably. And I think they'll part as friends because they haven't got caught up in the drama. They haven't ripped shreds out of each other like some of the other couples. It was really interesting to see Kieran open up and explain that the reason he's struggling with the relationship is because he just doesn't think he can be the emotional support that Christina needs throughout her PMDD. I think he was a little bit blinkered going into it and didn't realise how intense it could be. And I actually think that Christina now can use this as a platform to talk about it because I think women with the same condition will really be seen.
Obviously, the last time I saw you, I was 100% moving to Manchester. Now that's changed. Just because I don't want to be away from you lot in a city where I've got no one and Ross loses his temper.
Do you know what, like, I said it in my last diary that I'm getting a little bit bored of the people that are like, oh, well, I'm not moving and you're not moving. So, like, well, what did you think was going to happen? Did you really think you were going to meet someone that lived in your own postcode? Sorry, I think it's going to have to be Sasha. Like, Ross has a daughter, a toddler. I understand that Sasha's parents want her to stay with them, but I just think it's really quite selfish and just a bit weird that they, like, seem so invested in keeping their daughter with them. Like, she's not a child. Sasha's dad is that close to Sasha, surely he understands why Ross doesn't want to leave his daughter. Amy and Luke. I want to talk about this because anyone who watched my season, it's giving mine and Arthur's homestays. Arthur would tell white lies constantly, but they weren't white, they were massive lies. And towards the end, it just started really annoying me. Like, we saw Luke lie about the picture. Like, Amy is not annoyed that he's had a picture with another woman. She's annoyed that he's felt the need to, like, cover it up and then lie about it.
It was like you wanted me to say that, and it was like, that's
Say
the thing
what?
we're focusing.
I wanted you to say what?
About being a butler in the buff. Is that how you introduce someone?
No, Alex was asking you questions.
Yeah, but that's our conversation.
Oh, right.
That's our conversation.
Okay. Right, okay.
So the one thing that Amy has asked for Luke to do is just dial it down with the sexual innuendos, and he's ignoring her. He's continuing to do it. What that girl is saying is, it's making me feel uncomfortable on camera. I don't want you to represent that overtly sexual side to our relationship in front of the nation, so please stop doing it. And I think he's being disrespectful in continuing to do so. The thing I don't agree with is how they brought up the butler and the buff stuff. Like, I don't think we should weaponise those things. So potentially there was a better way around that. Taking his ring off and, like, saying that he's a single man, it doesn't really scream much emotional intelligence. I think that everyone's going to feel sorry for Luke. But actually, I think what we need to realise is that I'm not sure we're seeing who this person is on camera. I think he's quite good at being aware of the camera. My advice to Amy is, if you don't feel like you're getting an authentic version of this man, run now, because if he's not been showing you who he is during this experiment, do you really want to stay married to a stranger? In the spoiler, it looked like Adam and Polly are saying that they're, like, really giddy and happy together. So I don't know if they've forgotten what their homestays is actually like, but I guess we'll see. And I also think that Christina and Kieran will probably leave the experiment as close friends.
To go from that wedding to then how we are now, that is what kills me.
I just don't know how much I've got in us for the amount of emotional support Christina needs.